Whole of England here, and today we are taking a look at the Wichita. So I've gotten this in one of these new Christmas containers, as I thought, I might as well give it a go. I mean, if anyone has seen I think it was the Flamu video, I did unfortunately get some of the ships that were on the shortlist there. So I think it was the Ochakov and the Udachi. But one of the ships that I did get that was quite nice was this, which is the Wichita. And this is my first game, and I'm going to be honest, it is a very, very fun ship to play, and this is just, I guess, my sort of initial impressions of this ship and just how I think it plays. I mean, from this game, and as well as I did do some training rooms, I think it is certainly a very powerful ship, and with this lineup, I did get pretty lucky with what it was. I mean, I think I was top tier here, so I did actually get versed against some tiers below me, which I just think is very, very very good, but I've not had any games yet, because I did also have some subsequent games, and those were, it's not really given me a sort of higher tier or where I've been up tiered, and I guess that's what I also need to try out. But I mean, this is, you can see here on the screen now, that's the team lineup, but even so, I do think it performs very well. Now, obviously, you can see on screen I've got my actual captain skills and the upgrades. It's sort of I did have a sort of quick look at how this ship's best played, as well as just went into a few training room matches just to test out various attributes of this ship before sort of making my choice. And so that's what I've gone for. So I mean, the first three on the upgrades, those are all pretty standard. For the fourth one is the actual propulsion modification one, as I thought, well, seeing as the actual rudder shift time is very fast, I may as well go for the actual propulsion just to speed up on that, just to get away, because the one problem with this that I've found is that there isn't really a heal, so as soon as you lose HP, that's it, it's gone, you're not getting that back. And yeah, so if I can just sort of minimise the amount of damage I actually take, which means, if I can quickly, accelerate, then that's going to sort of help me, I guess, avoid shots. And then the final one's just the concealment, the concealment modification, and as well as that, I've got the actual captain skill for the concealment experts. That does bring it down to a nice 9.5. And then obviously, with my captain skills, I've only got a 10-point captain, or at least currently at the moment I do, is, we've not got the new captain skills update yet, so we'll have to see what that would equate to in the new update. Now at the moment I've got AP loaded and I'm firing on the Duca d'Aosta. The first shot I did, you can see they did go a little bit too far. I thought it was going to go further forward. However, I did get another shot on while he was reversing a bit and managed to get a nice triple citadel there. So 3 normal pens and then 3 overpens, getting me a very, very nice 15k damage, and also did manage to avoid the Normandy shots. I mean, the one thing is, the actual range of this, it's okay. I mean, maybe a little bit of a longer range would be good, but at the same time, with the actual travel time, I guess it would take a while, so the chances of actually hitting at those ranges probably wouldn't be as, I guess, accurate as you'd normally have. Now with the actual team composition at the moment, so you can see at the top of there's no lemmings on either side, so at the top there we've got 4 of our ships, so the Bismarck, the Ioba, the Oba, New Mexico and Trento, as well as on their side they've got the Massachusetts, the Valley, and the Asashio. So there is, I guess, a ship advantage over at the top, but I do believe they were fighting for a very long time whilst I was down here. I mean, there are only 3 of us taking on this ACAP, and you can see there are a hell of a lot of ships coming towards us, so this is going to be a bit of a harder battle. But obviously, because I'm a much higher tier, I thought, well, this is something I can take. But before that, there is a bit of a surprise, which you can see is in the form of a lightning. Now, one thing to note is this thing has got incredibly low torpedo protection. I think it's literally just a couple of %, meaning if any of these torpedoes hits me, I'm screwed. But thankfully, this ship is blessed with, having pretty amazing rudder shift. And yeah, you can see these coming in. I was thinking, there's no way I'm avoiding these, and I bet he was thinking that too. And well, I just went and avoided them. I went straight through. Meaning I could just pop my radar and then just start firing on this lightning, just taking him out because there's not really much else he can do. I mean, the AP on that did actually do quite a bit of damage, you can see there. That took, well over 10k in that, but regardless, I've still taken out their destroyer, or at least one of them. They've still got a T-61, but that was one of their high tier destroyers, and they've only got the T-61 left on this side, so overall shouldn't be too much of an issue. I mean, I think he does pop out, there he is. but there's not really too much I can do. And I was sort of debating, do I really push out or do I start reversing? What do I do? But I just decided I'd just stay here for the short term. But I mean, yeah, I did go into some training rooms, so I went into a few of them just to test out the actual guns and how they really perform. So I just sort of stuck a Yamato and then I think it was the Izumo in a training room just to see at various ranges how the both shells sort of reacted. And using them on the superstructure, honestly, I couldn't really tell too much difference. I mean, depending on the dispersion, yeah, they were pretty much the same. I mean, obviously with DHE you do get the additional benefit of fire, so if you are going for armoured targets, you know, sort of heavy battleships or just very, very well armoured cruisers, then I think high explosive would probably be the better choice. However, the armour piercing is also very good. As you know, quite a few of the American cruisers, they do have the super heavy AP shells, meaning they do get sort of better, I guess, penetration angle, so you can do a lot more damage when, you know, normally you'd get a shell bounce. When you've got those super heavy ones, they will just go straight through and do a lot of damage. But even without that, they are still very, very good, as I was managing to, at various angles. I mean, obviously these angles you won't, you know, be made available for you for very long, but when you do have them, they're very good because it meant that I was able to actually do, say, like a 7k salvo on the side of a Yamato. So I was thinking, alright, where's the best place, you know, sort of where you'd usually hit a citadel sort of thing. So I was hitting sort of near the front, near the nose, around the front turrets for the Yamato, and I was getting some pretty fat penetrations, as well as around the centre, like sort of the top centre, I was getting quite a few as well. So the actual AP shells on here are pretty damn good, and at the same time, when you're going against cruisers, they are also very good, as, well, you saw that Duke d'Aosta lost pretty much most of his HP. Now over here we are starting to push in. I mean, at first I was kind of debating whether to help that fear dish. I mean, I thought he was going to die, and then all of a sudden, oh, I've got loads of health, and I was like, no, I've kind of abandoned him. It felt bad, but by the time he'd sort of done that, he was dead anyway. And now we've got the Fuso here, so I'm trying to really assist this guy in just taking out this Normandy, but the Normandy is now kind of pushing, trying to actually get behind island covers, so I guess he's going to just be taking one at a time. But regardless, this Fuso is then going to be taking shots from a Bayern, a Normandy, the Fuso, and potentially the T-61. However, the T-61 was rather low, and I think he does pop his head out in future, but I do try and put a stop to it. So at this point I'm thinking, right, okay, if the Normandy is trying to get around that island, no one can really see me at the moment. I may as well try and, I guess, surprise him by coming at the other side, and then hitting him while the Fuso also hits him. However, as you can see, yeah, he's now taking shots from two sides where he's going to be, I guess, taking a lot of damage. And yeah, we've just lost our New Mexico, so the actual game itself, it's looking pretty equal. I mean, you can see at the top of the map, there's the Massachusetts, the Flaggy, and the Sasio, they're all at the top, but we've still got the cap, so that's fine. And I did manage to get a nice salvo here on this T-61. I do hate how little health I left this guy in, as you will see shortly. Yep, 200 HP. And unfortunately I don't manage to get another kill. And all of a sudden I have a look and the Fuso is dead. Meaning I'm now alone with a Normandy, a Fuso, a Bayern and a T-61 in a ship that can't heal. So obviously I'm thinking, this is pretty bad. I mean, even though I am sort of quite a lot higher in terms of tier, I was just thinking, okay, that's going to be an issue, and if I don't get out of it, I'm going to be in trouble. I did kind of accidentally pop my radar there as I wasn't really, well, because the problem is the T and Y key are next to each other, so I kind of fat fingered it by the time, I'd already taken most of them out. I did put the actual anti-air consumable active, but regardless, I mean, the anti-air on this thing is, I'd say it's actually quite good from what I've seen so far. However, it is actually going with, I guess tier 6 carriers, so I mean tier 8 carriers I will have to see how they perform. And then tier 10 carries as well, so it is going to be a fact of, I guess, seeing how it performs at higher tiers. But so far, when it's top tier, it seems to be performing very well, and even with the targets that are the same tier, it does seem to be able to handle itself pretty well. And now all I'm really doing at this point, so we have got the A point, and I was genuinely surprised that the T-61 didn't go into the A point faster. I thought, he would have been trying to rush in there. Now I've run away and there's no one left. But they are starting to actually push in, but this is pretty much perfect for me, as it just allows me to, I guess, kite away and use my sort of very good manoeuvrability to get away. So I do fire, see if I can try and hit this T-61. I mean, I think those are good. Yeah, they do miss. Because at the end of the day, I'm giving him pretty much 10 seconds to manoeuvre out of the way of them, and yeah, he's going to avoid them. However, we do have a carrier, and it is a good carrier as well, as you will see shortly. Yeah, okay, so they are shooting me. So the two there are kind of sticking there. I guess they've been a bit spooked because they've been held off for so long. However, the Normandy does decide he's going to actually carry on pushing, and the one thing that's good about this is it's very low detectability. So I keep going silent for a bit, and then when the Normandy doesn't expect it, I just start dropping shots off. And I'm going to be using armor piercing, because obviously he's giving me a broadside, so I can, yeah, there you go, nice 3k salvo. And considering that was overpens as well, that was pretty good. So if I was getting actual full penetrations, I'd probably be doing a sort of good amount more damage. And while he is giving me these actual sort of nice side shots, then I will just keep on abusing that, and there you can see 4.6k, just overall very, very good. And because of the very fast actual rudder shift, I'm just thinking, you know what, it's fine, I can just avoid these shots because they come in slower, and I can just get around them and minimise the sort of impact they will do on my ship, and as I'm not going broadside, not doing damage. And here, yep, our carrier, I've got to say, very good of him, but he does drop fighters. I mean, you know, it's I think there's only one actual torpedo bomber left, but regardless, I mean, I'm just quite thankful this guy actually dropped fighters on me, because let's say he'd got an entire full squadron, then I'd probably have those torpedo bombers coming around to just do another run on me. So, yep, there we go. I do give him a +1 just because of, you know, at the end of the day, that's just quite good. I do like carrier plays that do try and assist the team in the best way they can, and, well, yeah, that assisted me pretty well. I'm pretty far out. I mean, I'm keeping these guys at the, I guess, edge of my range, meaning that if I'm firing and I get, say, positions like this, there's only going to be the Normandy that can even spot me here. He's just at the edge of my spotting range, and I can just keep on firing. I mean, he has gotten unspotted as there's nothing spotting him, but the Fuso is about to come into my range, so I just fire preemptively so I can fire it off before he gets within a range where he can detect me when I'm firing, meaning I get, I guess, a free shot on the Fuso, and thankfully oh, okay. I was hoping I'd actually do some damage there, but evidently they just shattered, but now I can go back to this Normandy. Do fire some HE, but I saw, you know, he's giving me a broadside. Do get a fire on the Fuso as well. I don't know whether he puts that out or not. Can't see because he's healing, so there is a difference in health. Do start firing. Okay, that was nice, not really nice salvo there. And I'm firing some AP at the Normandy. Unfortunately, as I was saying, with the actual ranged, well, I mean, that one was just bad lead on my part. If I'd led that a little bit better, then that would have been a kill. But even so, yeah, that was just bad leading for me. But if there's still a bit more range, that'd be quite nice, as I could confirm the kill. However, yeah, I mean, fair enough, he did get the kill there, but regardless, that's the end of the game. And I think for a first game, that was pretty good. Now come to the actual results screen. So 409,000 credits, 4.2k XP, and 300,000 actual free XP. Yep, 71k, pretty good. 88 target hits, 10 aircraft shot down, pretty good. 2 incapacitations, the 1 kill on the Lightning. Got the actual 7 fires, 3 hits to Citadel, and then all the others. Go to the team score here. Actually quite surprised. I came second in the team. I mean, very nice, considering it's, you know, first game and that. And then go over to here. So Lightning, obviously, you've killed that one, so that's the first one. Managed to do 16k, which is pretty good. Then the Normandy, which, you know, I was kiting pretty well, so 33k, and managed to get 6,000 with HE and the rest of it with AP and a bit of fires. 15k from the 3 Citadels. The Fuso didn't really do too much there. I mean, only 2k. And then just marginal amounts on the rest of them. So the Belfast 2k, T61 2k, and then the 10 planes with 5 bombers and 5 torpedo bombers. So the actual damage is 71k, 60k was with the actual main batteries, 21 with HE and 39 with AP. Surprised I actually got any hits with the secondaries there. I mean, I'm guessing that was with the Lightning when it got pretty close, but I didn't think I'd get that much damage, to be honest, so that's quite nice. And then finally, just the additional damage, which is 8k with fires and then 16k to aircraft. And yet, nearly a million potential. I mean, overall, I'd say pretty good. And yeah, just quickly look at the damage received. So I only took, it says 20k there, I think I took more, but regardless, yeah. 360k, that's without any modifiers apart from the clan stuff, so the service was reduced. But one thing I can take from this is going to be a very good credit earner for me. I mean, even when you've not got premium, 223k is very good, and if you can get consistent games like this, or even slightly worse, you are going to be able to generate credits pretty fast if you're sort of, you know, not got many, And in general, I think that's going to be very good. Now, that has been the actual video. I mean, as I say, it's just the first impressions and generally just my thoughts on the ship. My I guess TLDR is that it is a very good ship. You just need to be, I guess, very cautious of where you're really putting yourself. As if you do put yourself in the wrong situation, you will be you'll be pretty heavily punished. A lot of damage can be done to you, and you can't really do anything to get that back. So you do have to be careful with where you place yourself. But overall, I think it is a very good ship. And if you do manage to get these in a container, or let's say you've got, say, a doubloons coupe, I do think it is a sort of worthwhile purchase. With all that said, I'd say, yeah, that's really it. With all that said, yeah, that is it from me. So if you found this useful or enjoyable or just generally informative, then make sure to leave a like. And if you want to see more like this in the future, then make sure to subscribe. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.